Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the Superstars of Wrestling Review series for 1991. As mentioned, we do not have every episode available. Wish we did. Maybe in the months and years to come, we will have more, but we do what we can. March 9th, 1991 is our episode. There's two episodes available in March that I can present to you, and then we'll move into April, where there's three. We open with the Hart Foundation Tag Team Champions headed into WrestleMania 7. Jim Neidhart and Bret Hitman Hart. Neidhart sends the enhancement talent into the boot of Bret Hart. Bret Hart with a nice standing drop kick. Of course, they're going to go on to face the Nasty Boys at WrestleMania 7. And not a bad match. The Heart Attack is the finish for this particular matchup, and it is there, and it is, I suppose, I would say, pretty good. Well done. We move into the update. The update here is the highlight between the breakdown between Virgil and the $1 Million Man, and the match that Virgil has with Haku a few weeks later. Of course, Virgil winning that match. The breakdown between the $1 Million Man includes the $1 Million belt being used as a weapon against Ted DiBiase. The Mountie is up next in a enhancement challenge match. Of course, he's headed towards a feud with the Big Boss Man, which is kind of on the heels of that. In between interesting program rather, by the Boss Man and Mr. Perfect. It seems like for Mania only is that match. Anyway, modified chokeslam by the Mountie, and then use of control holds and a victory for the Mountie. Pretty easy there. Again, Mountie's whole character based around abuse of power. Then we see a promo from Hacksaw Jim Duggan inside Toys R Us. It is there and it is good. And then we kind of move forward. Hacksaw, of course, encouraging people to buy toys at Toys R Us. On the other side of the Mountie feud is the Big Boss Man. Boss Man, again, moving towards I don't want to say a throwaway match, but a rather unorganized match with Mr. Perfect at WrestleMania. Big Brooklyn Brawler is the opponent for the Boss Man here. Boss Man slides out, hits a shot to the face, and goes at him. Perfect, of course, does an inset promo where he says the Boss Man is not even going to be a challenge come WrestleMania. Spinebuster by the Boss Man gets him a partial move towards a victory. Then, of course, the Boss Man slam, and then he uses the nightstick to close things off. Does the Boss Man here? We move to an interview process. Sergeant Slaughter. Slaughter basically says he's going to destroy Hulkamania. On a stick is a Hulkamania t-shirt, Hulk Hogan t-shirt. General Adnan holding on to it. And that leads to Slaughter lighting it on fire. Symbolism actually supposed to be, and I mean it goes up in pretty major flames. Symbolism supposed to be the idea of lighting the American flag on fire, which was vetoed at the time. It originally was considered, but it was there. We move to an event center series of promos after a enhancement match for Jimmy Snuka. Snuka faces The Undertaker at WrestleMania, starting the I guess you'd say run there. Of course, Snuka having an involvement as a corner person in WrestleMania 1, crossbody and whatnot by an enhancement talent who pretty well goes pretty much up and over on Snuka. Snuka does eventually manage to get a slam off the top on the enhancement talent, who's Tights say Japan. And then a really awkward stunt a gun across the top rope by Snuka. Snuka not looking good here in 91. 91 92, not the best for the Superfly. And we kind of move forward there. Snuka does hit a really awkward looking pile driver as well. 1, 2, 3, and Jimmy Snuka is your victor going into WrestleMania 7. Promo upcoming for Mania. The model talks about destroying Jake Roberts. Roberts talks about the hood or the blindfold not being a problem come Mania. Gene Okerlund continues to hype Mania as the biggest pay-per-view ever. Hogan talks about defeating Slaughter, defending American honor, American pride. Basically, they called this WrestleMania Stars and Stripes Forever. And Hogan and Slaughter are a pretty big deal. Ultimate Warrior talks about taking rid of the career of the Macho Man Randy Savage. They have a mock Queen of England talking about how Davey Boy Smith is going to represent the entire nation of England in his match with the British Bulldog and the Warlord. For some reason, they're still promoting Dino Bravo and Kerry Von Erich, obviously, on the card, but still, it's kind of weird. And Greg Valentine and the Hammer, the Hammer, Greg Valentine, and the Earthquake. They basically promote all the matches about 2-3 weeks out of WrestleMania. We go back to the arena for an enhancement match for the Barbarian, who's still wearing antlers and a fur jacket this time, alongside tag team partner Haku, Heenan family member. They are going to face the Rockers at WrestleMania in what ends up being a rather underrated tag team match. I wouldn't say it's historic or anything, but I'd still put that match up against most of the tag matches that play today. And I mean, obviously, this is my golden era of WWF. I would still say I'd prefer to watch stuff from even before I became a fan over what's there today. Anyway, clothesline by Barbarian, tag off to Haku. Haku always looks like a master. Haku, former WWF Tag Team Champion. Barbarian as Sione. Later becomes a tag team champion himself within a few years here, at least short term, really short term. Hard chops though by the Haku Barbarian tandem, and a suplex by the Barbarian gets things going the way he intends, snaps him over pretty good, and needless to say, Greg Valentine continues going in a positive direction and kind of hyping the upcoming match with the Earthquake at Mania. Speaking of hype, the LOD hyping their match with Power and Glory as we close this particular edition of Superstars of Wrestling, and we're good to go. This is the close of this particular episode. We got one more for this month, and then 3 episodes in April, but we'll have tons more. My goal is to get through most of 1991 today, should my schedule permit, so stay tuned for more right now.